New Mombasa, October 20th, 2552. Almost 2 months after the fall of Reach, the Covenant has found Earth. Squad Alpha 9, consisting of Sergeant Edward Buck, Corporal Taylor Dutch Miles, Lance Corporal Kojo Romeo Agu, Private First Class Michael Mickey Crespo, and the playable character Rookie, are given orders by an ONI operative by the name of Veronica Dare to drop and board a Covenant carrier led by the Prophet of Regret in an effort to capture or kill the Prophet immediately after the events of Metropolis in Halo 2. During your drop, the carrier activates a surprise slipspace drive and EMPs the area, causing you and your team to get scattered during the drop, and this is where the absolutely breathtaking storytelling of Halo 3 ODST begins. For this retrospective, I'm going to take a deep dive into what makes this game so great, why the story is so immersive, how the environment tells a story, and all things ODST. This is not a full lore video, but is a look back to the past to what made this game so awesome, and the key reasons why we as fans remember it in such a loving light. Without wasting any more of your time, let's dive into this game. Approximately 6 hours after the failed drop lands you in New Mombasa, you wake up alone, in the aftermath of the darkest hours of New Mombasa. You are surrounded by the ruins of a city that was once thrivingly alive, but is now a graffiti-ridden, lifeless war zone. This is truly where the story thrives, not in the combat or the comedic quips of the in-game characters, but in the environment that so perfectly makes you feel lost. Lost like you are truly in this scenario. As you explore the city, you can see the panic that the citizens went through as this all transpired into a full-blown war, and if the environment doesn't sell it enough, you can find the audio clips of the experiences of a civilian by the name of Sadie and Desha just before and during the Covenant invasion that serves as a truly beautiful piece of the story to add context to the city and environment you are playing within. I will play the first few clips here, but there is about an hour worth of clips in this entire game, so if you are curious to listen to the rest of the clips, I will leave a link in the description to Installation Zero's video of all the clips with no cuts.
Hello, traveler. Mombasa welcomes you. Anxious? Stressed? Please remain calm. Control circuits now open with pride. Hello, traveler. The Mombasa Transit Authority welcomes you to Kikowani Station. How may I serve?
One ticket to Old Mombasa, please. Here's my card. Oh, no, scrap that. Traceable, damn it. Coins. Need coins.
Thank you. What is your final destination?
Magongo, if I don't get caught. Hell, if I do.
Thank you. Transport for 1, 2, Mogongo.
Let's go.
Please collect your ticket.
Wait! Hold the doors, please!
All aboard. Train number 4.
Oh, that was
City
close.
Center 2, Old Mombasa, now departing. Next stop, Makupa, Nairobi Road, Hope Station, and Mogongo, end of the line.
Almost there. Almost.
Emergency stop. Please remain calm. Emergency stop. Please
Damn
remain
it.
calm.
He found me.
Emergency stop. Please remain calm. Emergency stop.
Virgil, you
Receive
can't
the alarm.
stop the train. There are other
Emergency
people
stop.
on board.
Receive the alarm. Emergency stop.
Get out,
Please
Virgil.
remain calm.
What are you doing, crazy lady? Talking to the train?
I wouldn't even be here if you hadn't kept turning all the traffic signals red.
Detour. Proceed with caution.
Whoa, wait. Train's talking back to you now? What the heck's going on?
Sir, I'm really sorry about this. I was just trying to get out of the city. Virgil, I am going to enlist.
Watch your speed. Children at play.
I'm 19. And besides, the UNSC is taking everyone it can get. It's exactly what Dad would say.
You know, train's got a point. A lot of soldiers are dying these days.
He's not a train. He's a city. A bad, bad city. That worked when I was a kid, Virgil. Open the doors now!
Now departing. Hope Station. Leaving. Hope Station.
Virgil, go to hell. Scratch that. Hell just came here.
As you explore the city to find your lost squad mates, you find clues that take you through flashbacks to the events that occurred while you were passed out in your pod. The first clue you find is Veronica Dare's helmet lodged in a TV. You pick it up and are introduced to the main storytelling medium in ODST that, in my opinion, is extremely well done, and perfectly complements the dark and melancholy environment that you play through as Rookie. After picking up Dare's helmet, you take control of Buck, 6 hours before the events of Rookie's search. You spend the mission trying to make it to Dare's stuck drop pod to help her out, but when you get there you are met by a strange creature known in this game as an engineer, holding Dare's helmet but no Dare. Romeo then appears out of thin air and snipes the engineer, perceiving it as a threat. Once you complete this mission, you are right back in the darkness of New Mombasa in search of more clues. The next clue you find is a UNSC optics package that you find in the Uplift Reserve area of New Mombasa. This clue sends you back approximately 5.5 hours to the experiences of Dutch fighting for the Uplift Reserve. Dutch, missing the orders to adjust his drop trajectory, landed quite far outside the city and meets up with a Marine Corps platoon to help fight to secure an orbital elevator within New Mombasa. But during his efforts, the elevator is brought down to rubble, rendering the mission a bust. The next clue you find within the city is a destroyed UNSC Gauss turret that sends you back 4.5 hours before Rookie wakes up. In this mission, you play as Mickey, pushing through the city in a Scorpion tank to regroup with Dutch, who is pinned down by Covenant forces. Once regrouped, you defend the plaza from overwhelming Covenant attacks. After realizing that they could not hold the plaza forever, they decide to take their strike force of Marines and retreat to the Alpha Oni base where the mission ends. You then find a remote detonator that brings you back to the Oni base as Dutch 3 hours before Rookie wakes up. In this mission, Dutch and Mickey, alongside a group of Marines, make a final stand for the Oni base before retreating and blowing up the building to deny the Covenant's access to the data center below the base. Next, you find a mangled sniper rifle, which brings you 3 hours back before Rookie wakes up. Here, you play as Romeo shortly after the events of the Oni base. Your exfil gets ambushed by Banshees, forcing you to fight your way through the skyscrapers to a landing pad where Dutch and Mickey got shot down trying to exfil Buck and Romeo. During your defense of the area, a brute chieftain wielding a gravity hammer drops and attacks the squad, damaging Romeo's sniper rifle and severely injuring him during the altercation. The final clue you find in New Mombasa is the biofoam canister, which brings you back about an hour before Rookie wakes up. In this mission, you play as Buck alongside Dutch, Mickey, and an injured Romeo. Dutch and Mickey hijack a Phantom and you fly around a Banshee opening doors to progress through the flooded tunnels of the city. Along the way, you encounter a Scarab and large amounts of enemy forces. Finally, back in New Mombasa, you overhear a radio call from Dare. You track her beacon and find out she is in the tunnels under New Mombasa. This will be the last time you experience the dark streets of New Mombasa. You regroup with Dare on sub-level 9, fight through a data center completely overrun with buggers, find out that the package is an alien engineer who has remote access to the data center and all the secrets of the Covenant, and your goal now is to escape the planet with the engineer before the Covenant glass the planet. Buck ends up running into Dare and Rookie near the end of the mission, and the three of them escort Virgil, the allied engineer, out of the data center. After getting out of the data center, the squad heads towards the coastal highway. Here, Dare and Virgil get into a garbage truck and speed through groups of Covenant with Buck and Rookie defending them as best they can. I also want to mention here, when a Covenant carrier shows up and starts burning the city of New Mombasa, Buck says this.
No! They're gonna burn this city and then glass the whole planet! Covenant bastards! It's just like Reach all over again!
Which is a cool reference and I had to point it out. Anyway, after fighting through the highway, you take an exit to the Uplift Reserve and defend Virgil until Mickey, Dutch, and Romeo can give you exfil. Finally, the story ends with Alpha 9 pretty much intact with their mission complete. Romeo is pretty rough, but other than that, the squad is good, and the goal was accomplished. Sadly, however, the city of New Mombasa ends up getting completely destroyed and glassed by the Covenant, which truly is the real tragedy within the story. In the epilogue, you are left with Sergeant Johnson interrogating the engineer. The engineer is chill as fuck, by the way. I'd light up with this motherfucker any day. Look at this shit. Lighting up Johnson's cigar like a true homie. I say all of this to say that ODST is remarkable. It's remarkable because it gives you an environment that leaves you feeling a type of way. It doesn't play like a typical Halo game, and it was the first of the Halo series to do this. Bungie did something different here, and as much as it wasn't really appreciated back in 2009, I found that over the years, ODST has become a very loved game for this reason. The game puts you in a squad that is vulnerable. Not Spartans, not plot armor protected Auramaxers, just normal soldiers. ODSTs. I love this game, and for anyone out there that hasn't given ODST a true try because you thought it was dumb or not a normal Halo, please just give it a shot and really understand what the story and environment has to offer. It was a very nice change of pace from Halo 1, 2, and 3 and set the stage for Halo Reach really well. Which, don't even get me started on Reach. I plan on doing a standalone video for Reach as well, but ODST had to be talked about first. To round out this video, I think what this story really does well is paint a picture of failed efforts. Throughout the story, you fight the Covenant bullet for bullet and still can't truly win. You retreat, you regroup, and you try again, but you never truly succeed. You spend the campaign honestly setting up to get out of the city as soon as you can because it is quite clear that your efforts are nullified by the overwhelming force of the Covenant. I think that's what truly makes it beautiful, and a game worth playing if you are a Halo fan. With all that being said, if you enjoyed this video and would like to support my channel, you can do so by leaving a like or a comment, but most importantly, subscribing to see more content of mine. This video is not typical of my channel so far, but I like writing video essays, and I don't really care to make a separate channel for it, so what you see is what you get. I love you all, thank you for watching, DGen out.